In this episode, I'll interview Limitless Millionaire mentor Lenka Lutonska on the topic of energetic selling, intuitive business growth strategies, and how to create an epic lifestyle for yourself and your loved ones, coming from a so-called poor country without having funds and connections. So I'm super interested and super grateful to have you here, Lenka.
Oh, Lydia, so nice to see you and thank you for having me, and hello, everyone.
Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. Yeah, and I would love to first hear a little bit about your story, just a short introduction, who you are, because I already mentioned you're coming from a different country. So
Sure.
give us a bit input.
Sure. So I'll do my best to make it as short as possible. So yes, I come originally from Slovakia, tiny little country near Germany, and I moved to England when I was 19, and it was really to run away from the plans that my parents had for me. I come from a quite traditional family, and of course, you know, the path that my father chose for me was down the route of banking and finance. So I was due to start university, and that's when I started to rebel, because I knew deep down that I would never be happy working in a bank or, you know, with money, even though I have got respect for the industry. And I wasn't a very happy teenager either. I had my own issues, huge self-confidence issues. So that summer before I was due to start university, I basically opportunity show up to become an aupair in England. And I hopped on a bus with 30 pounds and off I went. And I settled here. Initially, I didn't plan it, but I settled here. I studied anything and everything to do with human mind. I studied counseling, psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, and eventually NLP, which I utterly fell in love with. And in the meantime, I was working for McDonald's. I started there. That was my first job as a McDonald's girl, cleaning girl. But I progressed in a company very quickly. As you know, they reward people when you work hard. So when I felt ready, and that feeling came with NLP, because there was such a powerful set of tools that truly helped me and my confidence. I left the employment at that time. It was a very secure job, actually a very good position in the company. Sold my car, sold my house, sold anything I managed to accumulate by that point, and hopped into it, and became NLP trainer stroke coach. What I didn't realize, I'm actually becoming entrepreneur as well.
Yeah,
so I became like an accidental entrepreneur. I just wanted to share the gifts, you know, I wanted to help people. So of course, as for many, the first couple of years were tough, but I made it work. I made it work. I moved to my now husband's, then boyfriend's house, and built pretty successful, even pretty small, but successful company. Training and coaching lots and lots of people from various walks of life. But then a few years down the line, I lost that business very dramatically and quickly. I went into a very unhealthy business partnership. And that was the really, number one, it was a massive earthquake in my life. I lost all the confidence. It was horrendous. I lost all the income and everything. But that was truly also making of me as a woman entrepreneur and a creator. And that's where my new business came from. When I really had to go deep in that midst of struggle, and finally came out where I merged that spirituality and business. And that's what my work is all about, merging spirituality and business. And not only my business started to boom, but, I'm blessed to touch many women entrepreneurs along the way. So that's in a nutshell, hopefully that will suffice.
Oh, that's perfect, Lenka. And I love that you already touched on like this big breakthrough for you, or this big change in your life with basically a huge failure, the loss of your, like, we can go into many things, but this is where I want to start it, with the loss of your business, and other people would have given up. And a big question from me for you is, there are so many people who don't keep going. There are so many people who are faced with adversity. Like, what is the difference for those who keep going and become like a millionaire, a huge success? Like, what's the ingredient?
I deeply feel for those people who keep trying and it's not happening, because for me, it's not. When I was quote unquote recovering my business, but really it was not starting from scratch, but starting anew. Because everything is changing, and I really had to find the strength within. I remember times and times again, I would be crying myself to sleep. And I was so close to giving up, Lydia. I went for interviews for a job. I was really close to divorce with my wonderful husband, because it was so stressful. And even he was started telling me that if it was supposed to work, it would work by now, and don't be selfish, get a decent job. And I went for job interviews. I was offered, particularly one really decent salary and everything. So I was so close. I was so close to giving up. And yet I couldn't, because that calling was too big. And this is where I would like to assure almost those that are still in that period of seeking, perhaps. You feel in your heart that you're meant to do something. Maybe it feels like a dream. Maybe you are sometimes crying yourself tonight like I used to. Maybe you are wondering what's wrong with you, like I used to, or if you're missing something, if it's something wrong with you like I used to. But please, please, please be assured that if you have got truly that calling in your heart, that's all the evidence you need to know that it's absolutely meant for you. In other words, it's life showing you the desire. It's life, the universe showing you how it wants to be expressed through you. So I would love to encourage everyone, and that's what I had to do, get more belief in that vision of mine, as in stop taking it as something intangible that might or might not happen, but it's truly that calling of the life that wants to come through me, and lean into it and take more courageous steps towards it. And that is the difference, because there are people who have got these dreams, have got this calling, and yet because, I know that I'm broke, I can't afford this, so they won't take some, courageous steps, or I don't have resources, or it's too early, I'm not ready. So it's not that they're not taking those steps that are needed to make it happen. And there are those who develop that belief in that vision and in themselves to sufficient degree, like I had to do, so that you come to the point, this must work. So I am going to risk. I am going to take even bigger risks. And I had to take those big risks. So to empower ourselves to take those leaps and go forward, because we just decide this is going to work no matter what. And I don't have it in me to fail. If I was supposed to fail, I would already. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. The belief in the vision and living more from, living from that side and not from the other side, and courageous steps. And I think, you leaving your country and going for your dreams, that's a big step as well,
Yes, but Lydia, back then I was 19. I had no no kids, no nothing. It was just me, look after you. So, I was living initially in sharing rooms with other people, and then got my little place. But I had myself to look forward, look after. But the second time I found it way harder, because I didn't have any more, that youthful naivety. And I had family to look after. So that's when I had to use courage. And it's much harder than when you got that blissful ignorance, whatever happens, So that's when the freaking belief in ourselves and vision is needed.
Yeah, is even more needed. Yeah, I love that, Lenka. And I would love to hear a little bit more. Like you said, you worked as, or you have like many different things you learned and studied NLP, of course. Would love to learn or hear a little bit more from you now when it comes to energetic business growth, because you already mentioned the vision, and you have been one of my mentors, so I obviously know all about that. And also because we said like how to overcome challenges, you know. Can you give us like your favorite ones or the most important parts of the energetic business side, basically? Like not the
Well,
normal
perhaps I
strategy,
should
but
start by explaining a little bit what I mean by energetic,
yeah.
because I did mention that it's a emergence of spirituality and business, and but what is it that energy?
Yeah.
What is it that energetic works? And basically, our personal energy is what introduces us before we even speak. That's what introduces us when we get on that call with clients before we even open our mouth. That's what has got a greater impact in our marketing, in our selling, in everything we do in our business than what we actually do. It's what comes from within. And we all know this to be true because when we come to the room full of people, we naturally feel attracted towards some people and naturally maybe even repelled from some people. We can't put finger on it, but something doesn't resonate. And that's what comes from within us. So that's our personal energy. And how we apply and basically it is a combination of our beliefs, what we adopted as our personal truths, and attitudes and values, and obviously actions and focus in five distinctive areas. This is what contributes towards extraordinary growth in a business. So this is obviously in relation to self and the structure of our reality. So this is how empowered we feel and how we feel that we actually can and do create our reality, and we can make it anything we want. Secondly, in relation to other people, it's what kind of belief and projections we put onto other people, including our clients, prospective clients, existing clients, and other people in our lives. Then we've got obviously a whole thing about marketing, what we perceive marketing to be. Selling again, and this is the area that it's typically is the most screwed.
Yeah, you're right.
with change makers and coaches, etc. So again, a whole lot of beliefs and how we go about that selling, and of course money. Yes, which influences how much we charge, etc., etc. So my work really consists of working on aligning our personal energy with the greatest growth possible in these 5 areas. And that's how we'll get results. So my favorite ones, I don't know, Lydia, because we're talking, I maybe we can talk about one that made the difference for you earlier on in our coaching relationship. And that is to break the pattern that our clients have.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
Yes?
Let's use that one. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So what we're talking about here is that as we run a business, as we are marketing and selling, we develop beliefs about ourselves, but also about other people. We fall into certain patterns, and we then may often start thinking things such as, it's all good and well, Lenka. I've heard this on quite a few occasions. Oh, it's all good and well for you. You've got these powerful women that invest in themselves. I don't have the type of tribe. My clients, they like to maybe like my stuff, but they don't invest in themselves. Or my clients don't pay, or, they're always late with payments, or whatever it might be, yes? So it appears that it's something outside of us. It's other people, it's our prospective clients. But actually, when we take the fundamental principle that other people are only and always a reflection of our own consciousness, meaning they are mirror to what is happening inside of us. They're mirror to what patterns we run in our own mind. Then we know that every client, and especially those things that we mind about our clients, is simply a pattern that we need to break first.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I know with you, it was like, I'm waiting for a few payments, so then I pay. Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes. And so that's, okay. So established pattern of waiting. And if you do that, your clients will do that. It's like chain reaction, yes, because we run that pattern. So I know it was a very, very courageous of you back then when you say, okay, screw it. Then now you brought it into my awareness. I'm going to break that pattern. I'm going to pay you before my clients pay you. And then what happened?
Yeah. And then come business growth.
Massive business growth, yes, because you broke that pattern. So this is very important for all of us to review what unhealthy business patterns I'm experiencing in my business. Maybe my clients are running certain patterns on anything. It can be anything. And then going within and ask ourselves, okay, what pattern are they reflecting and how can I break this pattern, and take that action that will break that pattern. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be outside of comfort zone, but that typically creates a very enormous energy shift, and that follows by much more ease in selling, etc., etc.
Yeah, I love that. And it's a really, on the point example. And what you mentioned before, that the topic of money, and especially if we my clients are sensitive entrepreneurs, lots of them obviously in the spiritual realm. Like, how could we break down the topic of money and making money and wanting to make a lot of money? That it's something good, because so many people have those negative beliefs. Mm-hmm. What would your thought on that be, on the topic of money and being spiritual and a good person and make a lot of money?
Yes. So that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, that we can actually be a good people and make a lot of money. For some reason, over centuries, the money and wealth got a bad rap, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Yes. But again, money is spiritual. It's a form of spirituality, if you allow it to be. Money itself is very neutral energy. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. And anyone can make money in any way. So absolutely, it's true that there can be corrupt people who make a ton of money in very corrupt way. But that's not the only way how to make money. There are also plenty of people who make money in a very congruent, in very ethical, in very authentic way, and can enjoy the riches of what is meant to be for us, because they realize that money is simply it's spiritual. I don't know if your listeners read the book The Science of Getting Rich. It's a very old text. It's a tiny little book.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes, please. If you have Wallace, the
Wallace Wattles or something.
The Wallace. Yeah. So anyway, I know I read that book 30 times, maybe.
Wow.
I haven't read it in a while now.
I have to catch up.
Yeah, I haven't read it in a while now, but I don't have issue with money anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will still come back to it again, because it's a tiny little book, and it's incredible book for letting go of all that rubbish around money. But one thing why I wanted to mention that book is because he beautifully explains that really to do the God's work properly, or express ourselves divinely fully, there actually are three things that we want to balance, yes, and we want to bring into fullness together. And that is, of course, number one, giving, yes, as in some sense of contribution. Maybe charity for some people, or this can be to do with we want to provide for our families, or give those that don't have that much, or just good deeds, whatever it is. But that sense of purpose, or also with work, that's getting sense of purpose. So that's one way of how to get that fulfillment. But then there is also mental stimulation, you see, so that we need to completely grow, continually have that sense of growth. So it's a mental stimulation, whether it's through personal development, studying, or experiences, yes. And then the third one is, of course, the physical things. So this is to just beautiful things that give us pleasure, whether it's that piece of beautiful furniture or ring or Chanel bag, whatever fancy, we've got each one unique things that really make us full, whatever it is, just for us. Yes, just for us. And for some reason, we think that, let's say, the giving part is more, how you say it, honorable than the physical part, the nice thing for me. It's not. It's not, because even when we are giving, don't we do that? And I'm sorry, I've got to say it. We do that because it makes us feel very good. It gives us that sense of purpose. And when we help others, we help ourselves. So it's very important to look at money in a way that is not going to hinder our progress, because it's absolutely not only okay, it's right for us to be richly rewarded for our best work. And our best work, by the way, it's typically the thing that comes easiest to us, which is a bit of contradiction in our mind, yes? So that which comes easiest to us, the most pleasurable to us, most fun to us, most exciting to us, that is the most powerful asset in our business. So we should be richly, richly rewarded for it. We need to ask for money for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's important. But I'm also going to say this, Lydia, and for everyone else, that to overcome any sort of money issues, yes, the fastest way is to actually start asking for money, i.e. sell.
Yes.
It's so closely connected, yes. So selling.
Yeah, because I do think that many people think they have to, and I love the book recommendation. And of course, guys, read the books and do the internal work. And still, there comes a time when the best growth is actually applying that stuff, jumping into the cold water, basically.
Taking action in spite of the butterflies in a tummy.
Yeah.
Yes. I know this was a biggie for me. When I was then rebuilding the business and in a struggle mode, right? At one point, I came and discovered that I've got 7 pounds 30 left, broke as hell. And it took that experience for me to wake up and realize, wow, Lenka, but you haven't been selling.
Yeah.
I thought I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, free speaking gigs, networking events, weekly newsletters, social media stuff. But actually, I wasn't selling. I wasn't asking people, hey, I can help you with that. Would you like to explore? How would that work? Whatever. But giving that opportunity to people to say yes or no. I wasn't doing that because I'm better than that. If people
I'm so spiritual.
Yeah, exactly. If people want to work with me, they surely will ask. It's enough for me to prove that I'm a great coach. These are actually very unhealthy mindsets. Very, very unhealthy mindsets. We've got to be there. We've got to initiate.
Yeah.
And so I know for me, on that day when I found out I'm completely broke, I actually picked up the phone and called all day long. And I made £1,800. Not a lot. It went towards the bill, but it was the beginning of what I call active selling. And I did it very badly. It was awkward and I felt very nervous. But it doesn't matter how we feel or how badly we do. It matters that we actually take that action. And selling, it's one of those essential entrepreneurial skills that we've got to do to actually make money. And the beautiful magic of it is that once you do it, once you get over yourself and you focus on actually people that you're helping via selling, and you stay with it, that you will start after a while to feel completely comfortable, and you master the thing,
Yeah.
And then you start making a ton of money.
And then you're happy.
And after your business is growing. It's so simple, but it's so true.
It's so simple, it's so true. And in the beginning, it's such a challenge for, I guess, 99% of the population out there.
I deeply appreciate it. I was one of those that had to really, really get over myself.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And what comes to my mind there, because I obviously we see you, or like I know you, but like seeing you on stage delivering big like speeches and talks. And I also know that you yourself called yourself more kind of an introvert person. And I know that a huge part of my group also would rather say they are introverts, or at least ambiverts. And how do you master that? Because this comes like on top of things, going out there, speaking to people. Obviously, you hop on the phone. Like, how do you deal with that? Is it also basically master the process, keep doing it? Do you have any other processes for yourself that you take time for yourself?
So first I would like to point out that introvert doesn't necessarily mean lacking confidence. You see, because sometimes we kind of put those two and two together. Because I don't like to outreach or go out there, that makes me introvert. That's not; those two are not necessarily related. We're introverted if we prefer, and that's where we get the energy from, the internal world, the world from within. So we need regular time and sometimes plenty of time to recharge. Yes.
Yeah.
So when I go to, I am introvert, as in I have my evenings to myself. I read plenty of books. I like my internal world, as introverts will understand. That's where I get my energy from. But it's almost like we want to work on our beliefs and develop the confidence in being able to be more flexible towards the extroverted side. Extroverts, true extroverts, they get energy when surrounded by people. That's where they seek, because they get their energy from. So whereas I'm introverted, I'm completely comfortable by now because, through working on my belief system and getting out of comfort zone and actually doing it by talking to hundreds and thousands of people. And then when I need to recharge my batteries, I retreat and take time for myself. So how does this translate? When I run, let's say, a 3-day big event, I know what I didn't do the first time. First time when I run that big event, I would be just all the time with people. During the daytime, presenting that, in the evening, VIP dinner, and this and the, oh my goodness, by the time I went to day 3, I broke down. I came with big eyes, big circle. I just broke down because the introvert in me couldn't take it. Yes. So the second time when I went into it, I scrapped everything that I should do as running big event. And that's it. We finish whatever time, 5, 6 o'clock, and we finish 5, 6 o'clock. I'm done. Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. And I would retreat and have a dinner with my close friend, and spend time with myself. Even a lunch breaks, etc. I would organize so I would be with myself. So I would adjust it to kind of that, to keep the introvert in me happy and keep the batteries full.
Yeah.
But the to develop the flexibility, all it is, it's confidence. It's confidence. So it's about working on those beliefs and stretching ourselves so we can become comfortable around people in any situation.
Yeah, I love that you put or make this equivalence. I don't know how you say that.
It's a continuum, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because many people take it as an excuse, and it does not need to be.
That's
right. It can be your strength, and you just have to
it's
know.
A massive strength.
Yeah.
It's a massive, especially if you're in a field of helping other people in some way. Yeah. Being introvert is a massive, massive benefit. Yes. Yeah. But it doesn't mean you cannot become completely comfortable. It's what Lydia says, continuum. So we will have somewhere our comfort zone when we recharge the battery. So it may be fully on introverted side, but by working on our beliefs and stretching ourselves, putting ourselves into situations, selling, talking on stage, etc., we will develop flexibility to get on the other side of the continuum when it's appropriate, and then retreat back in the evening when we can or whenever it's time to recharge. Yes.
When we do the comfortable thing. And I think it always comes back to this going out of your comfort zone, taking risks. And I think this is what many people don't understand, or it's okay, when they start out in business because of the vision, like you said in the beginning, yes. It's, I do actually become an entrepreneur. This comes much later. I do have to do the marketing. I do have to do the selling, and I can't or outsource this from the beginning on because it's me. My business is me, So it's very good about, and I think NLP helps a lot, and there are obviously many different modalities out there to help, to let go of those limiting beliefs.
That's right. We just need to be careful not to indulge too much in those modalities. I'm a huge believer in them. Of course, I teach them myself, but it's just to keep the check on how much we indulge, I say, in the healing and quote unquote fixing ourselves, you know,
Yeah.
because sometimes that can become an obstacle in itself.
Yeah, the waiting energy,
That's right.
like getting ready for the next 20 years.
That's right. So taking action truly is, no matter how uncomfortable, truly is the fastest way to alignment and growth. So when work with clients, I always advise, yes, use these modalities, but only to the point when you're empowered enough to press that button or pick up that phone call, whatever is that right thing for you to do.
Yeah. And I would love to know from you, because obviously everyone is different and there are many strategies out there. Are there any no-goes when it comes to business?
No goals, as in you shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, or also ways of marketing and selling, or do you, especially as an NLP teacher, say like whatever is aligned for you in that moment?
Yeah. Well, one thing I would say to be careful of is again, I've been guilty of it. Probably all of us are who are on entrepreneurial journey at some point, not to go into reactive mode and do things creatively. And what I mean by that, when we do things creatively, it's fully from within. When we do things reactively, we are mimicking our environment in some way.
I love that.
And it's very easy to do because, in one way, we always say and teach and do that, have your coaches, learn from other people. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's essential, right? But it's also very easy when we do that to go into mimicking those mentors, those other people we learn from, their strategies, what they do. It works for them. It should work for me. And when we go into mimicking, when it doesn't come fully from within, then there is a huge danger that it's actually not our thing, because we can copy. And this is so much of it. Oh, I'm going to give you my blueprint. And look, I'm guilty of that. I'm sharing sometimes. I'm going to give you what works for me. Well, yes, learn that. But we can take everything. Somebody can give you exact email templates, exact thing to put out there. And it may still not work for you because one thing you cannot copy is the energetic component.
Yeah.
Yes. So what is important is anything that we do when it comes to the creation of programs or marketing strategy or the way you specifically sell or how you specifically serve, that you always have that internal check. If I could create anything, what would I want to create? Yes. I'll give you one drastic example. Happened within my mastermind out of all freaking places. So one client, incredible client, she signed up for this quite high-level mastermind. And in the first, I think, 4 months or so, she went through 2, not 1, 2 $0 launches. In other words, she put a ton of energy around marketing her new service and marketed the hell out of it, sold the hell out of it, got exactly 0 clients of both occasions, one after another. Imagine how heartbreaking that must have been. Plus, she was paying me a ton of money. Yeah. Right? Horrible. But anyway, I knew that, okay, there's a ton to learn here, and we will need to grow out of it. And it was a hugely transformational thing for me. But the main one, why I'm mentioning this, she came later and she realized, Lenka, I know why. I know exactly why. Because I did promote this and was going to run this program. I was marketing this because you did that. So I thought it will work for me. I thought, Then we went into, okay, if you could create anything, like literally that would make you full, what would you want to create? She came out with this incredible retreat. She got then, she went straight to over 50K a month.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So it was really quite a lovely recovery, and so it put her in completely in different position. But it's the difference between doing things reactively, and doing it creatively.
Yeah.
So just be aware. But mind you, I think it's important to learn from other people, because to unleash our limitless growth, it's important to engage actually our both minds. So our intuition, can have got enough data to work with. I don't know if you have got time to explain.
Do that.
Yes?
Yeah.
So, of course, we all want to create the fastest, greatest growth possible in our businesses, make a huge difference in the world, be paid for it generously. And we might say that it's quite complex problem, right? Because it's got many elements and there are lots of skills involved. We can say it's a complex problem. We could say that, yes? Now, some time ago, and forgive me, I'm not the greatest one with references, but there was a while ago, there was a study done where they studied the very famous physicists of times and mathematicians of times, including Einstein. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to find out how do they find solution for the most complex problems. Mm-hmm. How does Einstein? How did it come?
How do they do it?
Yes, with the relativity principle and all of those. How do they do that? And this is what they found. So there are several parts to it. First, they would overload their physical mind with data, so they would put focus on it. Mm-hmm. So this is where you think about it and you study and you learn. This is to put it in entrepreneurial world. You learn from other people. How do I work it out? How do I sell? How do I market? How do I do it? Yes, so we learn. Yes, so overloading physical mind with data. But then the actual answers to these problems appeared out of nowhere from what they call deep mind. So it happened oftentimes when there was a loud noise and they got shocked a little bit. Or, like Edison used to do that. He used to meditate. He used to meditate and had his steel balls or something to wake him up, when he felt too deep. And that's when he got his ideas, yes? But that's because those answers already exist. They already exist. So they mainly were able to access those answers that they were able to perceive them, yes, from within the deep mind. But that wouldn't happen if they didn't focus on it and didn't overload their data. So the intuition then had enough data to work with, if that makes sense. And it's the same in our entrepreneurial world. So we learn, we absorb the data, but then we need to get out of our mind to get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably also that the snap, being snapped out of our own mind.
It's the snap. That's why I always say, follow your intuition, but, go out of your mind, and always put yourself in that energy that you want to experience. Like when your business is rich and successful and all of that, how will you feel? I will feel, I don't know, freedom. So good. Put yourself in that energy of freedom, ask for the answers, and then get out of your mind. Yes.
Oh, I love that example. That idea. And I think many people, or it's probably a split. Like some people, they get stuck in the intuition part, they don't overload, like they don't get any outside ideas. So they are just in this creative part, but still run around in their own mind. And then there is more like my clients, they are more stuck in the like getting data stuff, and not going out there and like going out of their mind and acting on intuition. So yeah, that's super helpful, this kind of explanation. What, like when it comes to getting out of your mind, what do you recommend? Obviously, like what are some ideas which come to your mind if you have like really brainy people coming to you, brainy clients? What do you tell them?
What do you mean by that? Get out of my mind. Look, when you focus directly on something, I want to find a solution for this problem. Yes. So that's not the moment that those clarity can come, because Einstein said it. Yes. That you if you want to find solution to the problem, it needs to come from different logical level than the problem was created. So we need to put ourselves in different energy. Yeah. So we want to relax our energy. That's why I say always put yourself in that energy of freedom or whatever it might be. Yes. But getting out of our mind can be actually as simple as going for a run or having a swim or going for a walk. Whatever you switch your mind off, so you do not stay on the how do I grow my business? How do I get out of this situation? How do I do this? So you can relax your mind. It can be, I discovered gardening, last year. I fucking love gardening. And I can get myself lost in it and talk to plants. And guess what? My business continues to grow like crazy because I got then, very intuition is working really, really clearly. Yes, because I'm not all the time. Before, when I was working, and this is the difference, the like buy me mentality, when I'm all the time on it, working, then you don't have that space for that intuitive guidance. So getting out of your mind, it means you're not focused on the business or on the problem, but you do something that you can get lost in. Yes, whatever it might be, playing with a pet, playing with children, cooking, anything that you fancy. That's the probably easiest way how to get out of the mind.
Reading some some probably fictional books or
That's
something
right.
where you have
this is,
different imagination.
That's why don't we have that phrase that my best idea comes in a shower? We sing in the shower. We focus on
just having fun and being
that's right.
off duty.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Lenka. I have many more questions, but perhaps just several ones or one or two. Is there any difference between going from 5 figures to 6 figures or seven? Oh gosh, I can't even get the numbers right. 6 figures to 7 figures. Is there any difference, or is it always the same jump, basically?
Same and different. It depends how you look at it. Yes, in a way it's different because, of course, your brand positioning will be somewhat different. Your channels of distribution will be somewhat different. Your marketing will be maybe a little more different. Your team structure will be different. So we could say there are differences, that what was working at 6 figures is going to be same at 7 figures, let's say. But honestly, it's the same journey. It's the same journey. And the journey to me is in 3 simple steps. Set an intention, number 1. Number 2, bridge, meaning this is that time between intention and whatever that, intention coming to fruition. That's the bridging period. That is when we're going to embody that woman, that creator we're meant to be. On that next level, that entrepreneur we're meant to be. We're going to do whatever we can to embody it now. Whether it's with changing those price structures, whether it's selling differently, whatever. But we're doing it, embodying it. And that's how we're bridging. Yes, we're merging those realities. We're vibrating that. Yes, the new reality, so to speak. And then you achieve that, so you'll get to that next level. And the new intention will appear. The new, but I'm here now. I want to be there. So let me set another intention. So it's this 3 steps over and over again.
It is actually super easy, and it's more
in a principle, it's easy. Of course, application of it, again, it requires a lot of courage, good guidance, I would say, and belief in who we are and in what we're meant to do.
Oh, I love that, Lenka. I would love to hear, obviously, what might be some of your big vision, whatever, don't tell us what you don't want to tell yet, but what is the next level Lenka doing? Where is it going? Is it being even more international? I have no idea. What can we see from you soon?
Yes, you see, I've got a glimpses of what's next, but right now, I tell you, I'm so grateful to be in such a flow that my impact is growing, which I'm hugely grateful for. And so, that's what drives me, making bigger and bigger impact, So, of course, I would love to sell a ton more books, energetic selling and marketing. I know that there is another book brewing in me. But there is no time yet. I actually rejected the book deal, imagine recently.
Okay.
Yes.
Rejection, good part as well. It's not always saying yes. Yeah.
Yes. So I know there will be another book, and I know it will be really just about helping more people and everything that comes with it. It means also for me personally getting even richer, getting a ton of properties. I don't know, helping in different ways to the world. Simple.
Okay, simple. More impact, more properties. I love that, Lenka. Oh, yeah, I think that was already a ton of lovely input already. Perhaps either a last concept you want to share or a best tip, something to leave the audience. There was a lot already, just final thoughts, basically.
Yes. Perhaps one that I had to keep reminding myself over and over again when I was towards the beginning of that journey, and that is that when I feel like things are not going the way I want, when I feel like maybe it's not for me, maybe it's for other people, when I feel like maybe it's something wrong with me, you're not getting further away from this vision. You're getting closer to it. And it just takes a single decision, single step to really, really activate it. So, and you know what the funny thing is? You probably know what that step is. So ask yourself, if you didn't care what other people thought, if you didn't care whether it will work out or not, what would be the best, perfect next step, a big step for you to take to really bring this vision to life? And I beg you, do what the heck you need to do to be able to actually take that step and take that step. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just when, right?
Yeah, it's just when.
Yes, the question is when.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Lenka. Cool. So I think that's a good 45 minutes. We had a lot of input from you. I'll most definitely put your links into the show notes, your book, and also the other book you recommended, and where we can find you, Lenka. And it was lovely talking to you again.
Likewise, Lydia. Absolute huge pleasure, and really thank you, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Until the next time, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you.